Hey y'all, it's Rebecca, and in today's video we are doing a get ready with me for work. This is the Okavango Safari Palette from Nomad Cosmetics that I will be using in today's look. I did do two different eye looks. As you can tell, one of them is a more neutral, warm tone, beigey brown look, and one of them is a green and bronze look. And I wanted to try and keep these as neutral as possible. So if you are curious to see what looks that I came up with, then keep watching because I'm going to show you how I got there. And yes, some of these are sped up. Hey y'all, so in today's video we are using the Koki Bee Bright Illuminating Concealer. This is in the shade SC762, which is light. And I also have a loose setting powder that I'm going to be using under my eyes. And this is a Junko & Co sponge. The blue sponge that I'm using, I'm not quite sure which one that is, but the Juno & Co sponge is the yellow one that I use with the setting powder. This blue sponge also may be a Juno & Co sponge that somebody had sent me a while back. The lip color is from Pink Lips and it's the shade Dream. It's a really nice hydrating lipstick. It's more like a lip creme or a lip cream. I'm not quite sure what they consider it, but it's very hydrating. It kind of goes on like a gloss. Then I am using the Bridgerton collection from Pat McGrath Labs. I use the shade Cherish and Nymphette mixed for the blush, and Venus Nectar is the highlighter that I used afterwards. And I really love this blush palette trio. I use it quite a lot, and I've used it quite a lot last week. And you know, I really love how this neutral look turned out. Now, most of this is going to be sped up ×2. That was actually sped up ×4. So this shade that I'm going to be dipping into is called Vembura Plains. This is from the Okavango Safari Palette from Nomad Cosmetics. I really haven't had a lot of time to play with this palette because the browns in this palette are a little on the yellow side, and I have a yellow undertone on my skin. So I really kind of stay away from the yellow undertones because they kind of clash with my skin. But this Vembura Plains, being this like weird greenish mustard kind of color, kind of ended up more like a limey color on my skins, which was unexpected. I was not anticipating the color that it turned out to be on my skin. So this was pleasantly surprising, to say the least. When I applied it, I thought it would be a little bit more olive kind of leaning. This next color is called Chef's Island. It is a deeper green, and I wanted to use minimal amounts of color. I think I used 4 shades on each eye for these looks, and I was getting ready for work. So and actually I think I was listening to them. There was a lot of technical issues last week at work, so that's why I'm wearing my work headset, just to make sure I could hear, just in case the teacher came back in, because there was not a whole lot for me to do but sit and hurry up and do nothing. So I was using Chef's Island on the outer edge of my eye and blending it in towards the middle so that I had some depths in the outer edge of my eye that kind of match with the Vembura Plains. This also is yellow leaning. This is the BH Cosmetics Base Booster. I don't even know if they still make this stuff, but I've had this stuff since 2016, and a little bit goes a long way. And it's a very tacky base that I like to use underneath all of my shimmer shades. It helps grab onto them and helps them stick to my lids, and it helps them not crease as easily on my lids, because I do have one of my eyes is very hooded and the other eye is hooded and deep set. I'm going into this really pretty like speckled shade that is called Nile Crocodiles. It is a very yellow with gold tones with little brown, or brown, not brown, but green speckles in it. And it's a very pretty shade. And I use this on my inner corner. And I think that it goes really well with the Vampira Plains. It is like a lighter, more yellow tone than Vampira Plains, and I think it brings out the yellow in the Vampira Plains nicely. And I was again worried that it would make me look really sallow and really yellow because I am a yellow undertone. Then dipping into Roaring Lions. This is a bright golden orange to me with blue lines that run through it, kind of like stripes, tiger stripes. But this on the eye kind of looks copper instead of orange, and with it next to the Nile Crocodiles, it really just kind of plays well together. I think you could get away with this being a neutral eye look if you can get away with neutral eye looks at work. And then just going back into Chef's Island and deepening up the outer edge, because I did lose a little bit of that when I used Roaring Lions over it. The reason I went into Roaring Lions with my finger was because I noticed that I lost the ability to see some of the pigment with the brush. Now this is Towering Giraffes. I had not used this shade yet. This is a really pretty like neutral brown shade. This was not warm, this was not cool. It's a really pretty neutral brown that I used on this eye as a transition shade. And I wanted to like blend this all over, and I did just that. I blended it all over and ended up getting powder in my eye. That's why I opened my eye up really big, was because I ended up getting powder in my eye when I did the lower lash line. Oh, and I'm using a Wet n Wild crease brush for this look. This is one of those 97 or 99-cent brushes. This is a Sigma brush that I'm using. That's like an E35 or an E37. The shade that I'm tapping into now is a really reddish toned brown. This is called Pack of Wild Dogs. This is a really pretty reddish brown shade, but this is a shade that I wouldn't have naturally gone to, and I really kind of struggled on buying this palette just because these are tones that I don't gravitate to. These are not shades that I like to wear. These are not shades that I tend to lean towards at all. Am I happy that I bought it? Yes. Would I have gone out of my way to buy it if it was not a Nomad palette? Absolutely not. But since I own most of the Nomad palettes, I was happy that I had picked it up. But I wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy it if it was from another brand. Now this one surprised me. This is Migrating Zebras. It looks white with that graphite color mixed through it with zebra stripes. This looked straight up like pencil graphite on my eye. It was that silvery gray color on the lid, and then when I blended it out, it really just took on this gray color. But then when I went into Leechweiss, I'm not quite sure if I'm supposed to pronounce that with a German accent or not. Lechweiss. This is a straight up copper shade. When I put the copper shade next to this like silvery tone, it toned down that silvery shade quite a bit, but it was really pretty in color combination together. So I used 4 shades on each eye. I ended up using 8 colors total. All in all, these are both wearable neutral eye looks. And then I used, I think this is Punch or Melon something. It's from the BFF line. This is from ColourPop Cosmetics. This color did not really transfer to my waterline very well, and I don't know why lately the ColourPop liners are just not transferring very well. And somebody said something very funny in class. That's why I was laughing. So the teacher had said something that was very funny. So there's that. Now this is the Essence Lash Without Limits. This is the volumizing and lengthening mascara. This is the best $4.99 mascara that I've ever had. I got this in a Trend Mood box, and I'm going to continue to use this on my lashes every day until it runs out, because this stuff is amazing. And I have a brown in this mascara as well. This is the black formula, but I also have a brown one, so when this one dies, I have a brown that I can use as well. And I will be repurchasing this mascara because it is worth it. So what do you guys think? I did use a flashlight to kind of show you just how sparkly and shiny these looks are. They are very shiny and sparkly and ooh pretty. I love how these two looks turned out. And then I'm going to show you some photos inside and outside here with and without flash on here in just a minute. I'm really glad with how these turned out. These are looks that I did in the beginning of the week. There were a couple looks I did this week that I didn't end up filming, but then these were ones that I did film, so I'm glad for that. But leave your thoughts and comments down below. I don't know if I will film all of my makeup looks or just a few each week, but this has been a lot to edit, to try and edit 3 to 4 looks a week. And I have been wearing makeup every day this week, but the day that I'm editing this is Sunday, August 17th, so I don't know when you guys are watching this, but I am currently fighting a migraine, so I don't know how much makeup I will be wearing this week. Depends on how bad the migraine gets. But I did my injection and stuff today because the 17th is when I do the injections, and I am just feeling like a complete zombie. I woke up a zombie and I'm still feeling like a zombie, but I think the looks turned out beautiful. And let me know your comments and thoughts in the comment section below, and hopefully you guys have a fabulous day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon. Have a good one. Bye y'all.